Welcome back to Blog Access 101. I'm your host, Young Bachi. This is episode 194. I'm here today, my co-host Bobby. What up, Bobby?
What up, Rob? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Jump right into it. NBA trade deadline coming up next Tuesday. Not too many big names out there, but I heard that the Kings been looking at going after Jeremy Grant, which I think would be uh a nice move for them. I don't think he would be in the starting lineup. Might come off the bench to me because I feel like the Kings lineup is solidified.
Yeah, their lineup is pretty solid. Like, if you look at their lineup with Fox, unless you want Malik Monk to come off the bench, but Malik Monk is the starter. You're trading one of those pieces off the bench, I guess. I guess you're probably trading Kevin Herter
I wouldn't
because
do
you
that.
got
I'm thinking they giving them draft pick. That's the only thing I can think of.
see, this is where the GM over there is Monty St. Clair.
Mhm.
Uh I remember him when he was down here at the Rockets. Great guy, but I don't think he should be giving no draft picks. I think he need to keep that on for the future unless he's getting I wouldn't get unless it's just second rounds, that's cool. But don't be giving up first rounds.
Yeah, for Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. And then they make it sound like, and then you got Sabonis. Yeah, they're sending Sabonis,
Yeah, Keegan Murray.
Murray.
Yeah,
Who else? I'm missing one.
that's the only thing I can see. Now I've heard rumors about they might be trading King and Murray, what I wouldn't think is very smart.
He's the best shooter.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not smart. But I think that could be the only potential way that Jeremy Grant gets in their starting lineup. They trade him, which I think is be an idiot idea.
Yeah, that'd be the dumbest idea. Isn't Keegan Murray's brother in Portland?
Yeah,
All right, young bull. Keegan, you watching this? Don't go to Portland. I understand you want to be with your brother, do this whole twin thing or whatever, same brother on the same team. Don't do it, dog. You got a good situation. Get your win so you can get your money.
yeah. But what's the other trade? I've been hearing a little bit. Everybody trying to say you saw what he was talking the other day when Brian had the Knicks towel on his shoulder. They talking like he probably asked for a trade in New York. I'm like, no, because that doesn't move the needle. I don't think
Bro,
pieces for him to
they
make.
will have to trade Julius Randle. That's the only contract because you know they ain't trading Brunson, which I ain't got no problem. Don't get me wrong. If the Knicks can pull that out with some pick, like they would give up those picks.
Yeah,
Now the thing is, if I'm the Knicks, I'm looking at 2025. I'm like, shit, I ain't trying to trade nothing out of 2025. I'll trade any pick in this draft.
yeah,
I'd be like, shoot, you can have all my 2024 picks. And it seems like that's what a lot of NBA teams are doing. They're trying to get rid of them 2024 picks and like, hey, I'm good, bro. Set me up for 2025 because that's gonna be a good draft class.
yeah. And then I heard that the Warriors is interested in Caruso. I think that would be a good move for both parties. Bulls just lost Zach LaVine. Shout out to I'm sorry, get well soon, my guy. But Caruso fits their system. Scrappy guard, plays defense. Hit the three ball here and there. Make smart decisions on offense. I feel like
So
he
they
fit.
trading Gary Payton Jr. because that like
Yeah, probably again.
technically Caruso and Gary Payton Jr. are one and the same low key.
Yeah, I would take Caruso. I like Caruso better.
No, I'd take Caruso too. But my whole thing is like you're trading a player. Like I know Gary Payton Jr. is hurt,
Hmm.
but technically you're trading for the same player even when he was in the lineup.
Right.
What they're missing, and I'm telling you, this is what hurt them. Although if they should have traded Draymond after that Jordan Poole incident and kept Jordan Poole,
Hmm.
they should have kept. Looking at the hindsight, I get it. Draymond is the leader of the locker room. He gives them toughness and all that. But
Hmm.
shit, you can find a goon in the free agency and tell them like, "Hey, man, we're gonna pay you to get 6 files, some texts, and all that. You ain't got to worry about nothing."
Yeah.
Now,
I
does
ain't gonna lie,
Draymond
they thought he was the core, and I get why he won all them championships for him. But yeah, I definitely would have went with Jordan Poole.
You
But
got to go with youth. And then also showing me that Steve Kerr don't know how to coach young talent.
I've been
Just like
telling people for
just
years.
like his predecessor, Phil Jackson.
Yeah,
He'll go
no,
to a team with.
I've been telling people for years. I never thought Steve Kerr was really a good coach.
I
And
don't
people,
think he's a good coach either, because that's what that's what the whole thing with Wiseman and stuff. I was kind of interested in the whole Golden State scenario. Be like, yo, let's see if he can raise some talent instead of just latch it on. Because he did that as a GM for the Suns too. He didn't rate the Suns wasn't built by Steve Kerr. He latched on.
Hmm.
And people gotta understand that. Like,
Latched
this
on
is
entire career playing playing in coaching. NBA latched on to Jordan and Pippen.
exactly. This is why I'm not so thrilled about Team USA this year. I look at how Team USA played in the World Cup. Man, you gotta blame that on Steve Kerr trying to play this old Spurs system, Spurs basketball. Hey, we gonna move the ball around. No, you gotta let players play, like, be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not every player can play around like that. So, like I understand you got great players, but you're asking them to play your system way in amount of weeks. That's crazy. So my whole thing is like, if USA basketball is, if Steve Kerr wants to be successful, he really has to learn how to coach young guys. That way he can be in that upper echelon of coaching. Don't get me wrong, when he got vets, yeah, he's probably top 5 coach. He's got the best shooter all time, and he got a whole bunch of vets. They just
Shooter,
old,
he got
like,
the best two shooters of all time.
exactly.
Shit,
And
crazy.
probably the point guard.
I'm not going that far.
I mean, he hasn't won a championship, you know what I'm saying, but he is the point guard.
Yeah, I still gotta go
No
with.
CP slander.
Oh yeah. Oh, I rock with C. Oh yeah, CPS my guy,
No
man.
CP
I
slander. We're
heard they was
not
talking
doing
about he
that.
was in. Well, I heard rumors that he might get traded. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy.
To who?
Who
The
knows?
Lakers? That
Nah,
would
I
make sense.
forgot what team it was. I mean, that would make the best sense.
Would you trade CP for D'Lo straight up?
I don't. I don't know. I mean, obviously, CP fits the Lakers system better, but you got what is he like 38 now?
Yeah.
Got to get some draft conversation because you're getting somebody that old because he got one or two good seasons left in him, if that. But
Mhm.
they were talking about he might go to the Magic, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Oh, he'll coach that young team up into the East, into the freaking semifinals in the Eastern Conference. You
Yeah,
CP will get that team to the semifinals. I ain't saying they winning.
yeah. Sixers need to make a move. What Embiid got what torn meniscus?
Hey,
It's supposed to
yeah,
continue.
that NBA rule is starting to backfire because you got players trying to rush back off an injury.
Yeah,
I feel like there has to be a happy medium between that because I get it. Like, honestly, tell you, you probably should have just punished Paul George and Kawhi for that shit. But like, hey man, we're not giving you guys a super max. Like, you literally telling the Clippers like, hey man, ain't nobody going. You should have made it gospel or something like, hey, we're not giving a super max to none of you two unless y'all play this amount of games. So at least put it in their contract.
right.
You know, it sucks that the whole league is getting punished for the fact that these guys are getting hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
that
it's not like, oh, they're missing games. Like, it's not like, oh, but oh, he has a sore ankle. It's not like that. Like, these guys are getting hurt, and now it's being counted against them. At least if they're really injured, that it shouldn't be counted against them.
yeah, because like you said, but Kawhi, them niggas abused that joint. I mean, them brothers abused that joint. Um, but they was trying to set a rule because a lot of fans will be complaining about how they go to all these games, but then they go to the game and pay for these tickets, and the players that they want to see don't play or sitting like DMP or they travel.
Oh, I'm for that. Hey, don't get it twisted. I know I don't pay for tickets no more, but I'm for that. If I was going to a game and I didn't see my favorite player playing, I'd have been like, yo, I need a refund or something because this is bull. So I would say this. I think the NBA should either do one of these three options. One, specify what an injury is, like a serious injury, and make sure you got the reports and everything. Like, you got to have the doc reports.
Right.
So that way you be like, okay, he's really injured. He cannot qualify for the award, you know? Two, yes, there should be a certain amount of games played, so you can get those those supermax. Because I do agree with the owners on the aspect of this that they were overpaying for a lot of players who were hurt, just off speculation, which is
Why
crazy.
Leonard?
Agents were finessing the bag too. So yes, so for the NBA, they have to figure out the amount of games, all right? Because the first two coincide with each other. Specify what an injury is, and then making sure that we specify like, okay, you do have to play this many games to get a super max and all that. This might not be popular or anything, but third, you gonna have if they sit out TV games or they sitting out like if it's not specific, it's just a sore ankle and stuff, bro. You got to lay the hammer down and put out and send out a huge fine.
Yeah, you
And
saw that
not only
part of six when he sat out for that at what's that game? The game against the Nuggets. They thought he
yeah,
was Duck Joker again, but my man probably was really injured and
he was hurt, and that's the whole point. But that's also on the Sixers for not specifying. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You have to specify the injury. I would tell you, be like, hey, if you specify the injury, and I'm talking about how serious the injury is, like, let me see the notes. Let me see the trainer. You have the resources to where, like, hey, let me see all the trainer documents. Let me see the doctor documents to figure out is this something worth sitting out for.
No, that's real.
But, also too, people are gonna say, well, you don't know their body, you don't know what they're hurting for. Hey, you absolutely right. I don't know. But I do know one thing. Some people, there are people, I do know a finesse when I see one.
Mhm.
And Kawhi and Paul George pulled the finesse. Maybe more Kawhi than Paul George. I will say that. Paul George has been legitimately hurt on multiple occasions, but Kawhi seemed like he'd just be pulling the finesse.
Yeah. But man, I know the one thing, Sixers need to make a trade if they still want to like try to because you don't know when Embiid might come back. Um
I think he'll come back playoffs, but I think that y'all will push for him the week before so he can at least get 2 games, kind of warm up.
yeah,
You know
but
what
the
I'm saying?
question is, can this team make the playoffs without him? I mean, Maxi been going
Hey,
off.
Maxie is hooping.
I don't really trust Tobias been playing decent this year. I gotta give credit where it's due, but I don't
So it almost makes sense for y'all to get another big, but who?
Kelly Olynyk.
Eh,
I mean, it's not gonna move the needle. But I
I
mean,
would say y'all probably should get Drummond, honest to tell you. I'll just trade for Drummond.
but yeah, but for some reason last time we had Drummond, we didn't use him right. And well,
Well,
maybe
but
it's Doc Rivers.
because he was coming that too, and he's probably coming off the bench.
Yeah, yeah, he right. He is a solid double double guy. A lot of
Like I
people,
would use
I think he may be a Hall of Famer. People might think that's crazy, but young Drummond was
oh,
different.
young Drummond was whew, too bad he was in Detroit.
Yeah,
If he would have got out of Detroit early enough, he probably would people probably would have known respect his game a little bit more. I would try to make a trade for I would try to make a trade for one of these centers.
yeah. I
I
would take
think
I would take Drummond or
maybe Christian Wood because he obviously wants to start, but I'm not a big fan of I turn it on when I want to,
yeah.
you know? Shoot. Like you have to get a center. I really think. If not, I'm gonna tell you, Rob, I've seen this before with the six. I've seen this before down here. That small ball, hey, it gets real played out real quick.
Hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's real. But what else was I about to say?
The Rockets made a good trade. I like our trade for Steven Adams, even though
Oh
he
yeah.
hurt.
You say you think y'all gonna trade him again before the deadline?
I think it could happen, but I like him. I like having him on the team. I think he's a great vet. Not a good vet. He's a great vet to have, and it'll be good for like out Sengun and all them to like like learn from somebody. Like yes, he doesn't have championship experience, but he's a good person. And you have the backing of Dylan and other vets on the team. Like he's a good person.
No, that's real.
So
Yeah.
I'm with
Let's
that.
see. But yeah, man, let's jump into Juju Watkins. What you think of that game when she went off 51?
Yes, the right Juju. We ain't talking about Juju Smith-Schuster or Boo Boo Smith-Schuster. We're talking about Juju Watkins here.
Somebody still sick from the Super Bowl?
And that old fake holding call. Yes, I'm still sick because we got this Boo Boo Smith-Schuster Super Bowl ring.
Mm. Hey, Juju, I ain't got no smoke with you, man.
Oh, I
You-
got smoked.
you- man.
I think he's corny. And you saw how corny it was in New England. I rest my case.
I mean, his quarterback was Mac Jones, and he was on some stuff.
Nah, I'm sorry, but there was other receivers on the roster utilizing Mac Jones and still getting yards
I'll
where
give you
Juju,
that. Kendrick Bourne was going off
yeah,
too.
where Juju was looking like boo boo. I mean, he is boo boo. He might be poo poo. I don't know. There's levels to it.
Here you go. But yeah, man, I mean, Juju put up what 51 on the road against Stanford. Big win. I think what Stanford was ranked fourth, right?
Yeah, which is a good play. Playing against the fourth ranked team in NCAA women basketball
No,
and putting up
51.
51. I'm sorry, but you don't hear about women putting up 51 in a college game.
Yeah,
I
they keep.
mean, Caitlin Clark, but
Yeah,
like,
they talk about Clark, but they talked a little bit about Juju, but they're like,
but Juju, sheesh.
sheesh,
Maybe it's because I hear Caitlin Clark all the time, and but she put up 51, and it was for USC at that.
she was in her duffel.
Like, let's be honest, is USC really that powerhouse of a women's basketball program?
I mean, they in the top, they 15 now. So I
They
mean,
top 15, but are they really like, you know what I'm saying? Like the
oh, no, I
staff,
get what you're saying. I
like
mean,
you know what
they
I'm saying?
haven't been a powerhouse since what Love and Basketball.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
I'm talking about women's basketball, but
Yeah, that's I know what you're talking about. You wow. But you're right though. You
yeah,
are right. Like I'm just saying, like, and this is no slight at USC, okay? But it's just like even Iowa, like let's look at Iowa, for example. Nobody was knew about Iowa until Caitlin Clark came around and started shooting that thing like she said, like she was like, hey, I'm Stephanie Curry. Did anybody know about Iowa basketball, women's basketball? No.
absolutely not.
The main basketball programs, so the Blue Bloods of women's basketball,
Okay.
UConn, Baylor, South Carolina, and LSU.
But I don't think you. I'm not you. I don't think South Carolina became real big until Dawn got there. Because I
Well,
never.
until Don,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's true. I mean, you could put Notre Dame in it too. Notre Dame usually,
But no, Duke women back in the day used to be live. I mean they
yeah,
fell off over the years, but
in North Carolina.
yeah,
But the Blue Bloods now, those are pretty much those four solid teams. Maybe LSU a little bit less. I know Stanford has always been solid. I'm sorry, I forgot Stanford. They've been solid every time.
facts. But yeah,
But
USC back on the map, man. Juju out there living up to the hype. Going went off. I'm having a great season. Put USC at 15th in the country right now. Um, so it's good to see like more women, like getting people more getting involved watching not just WNBA now, but they watching college basketball. I think like the Angel Reeves and Caitlin Clark, Iowa, LSU, NAF championship best thing happening to women's sports, not just basketball, women's sports entire.
brings
Uh,
excitement back. It brings not just excitement, but like kind of like notoriety to their game
yeah,
and
people want to
respect.
say like it was negative, like it was like oh they it's bad because they was arguing. I'm like man, that shit perfect. Make people want to watch it. I think it was the most watched national championship game in what how many years?
It's been a while. And
Yeah,
what's wrong with people arguing, showing emotion during a sports game?
yeah,
It's
people.
different from arguing if they were actually throwing. If they were throwing fists, that's a different story. All right, I get that. But yo, they're just passionate. They each want. Everybody wants to win. All right,
Facts.
like like for example, I know there was an issue this week with Michael Porter Jr. talking about WNBA doesn't deserve to get paid the same as NBA.
Yeah, Michael Porter needs to shut up. Then that brother can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I am on the opposite end of what he just said. No, WNBA players deserve to get paid. Okay, they deserve to get their money. They deserve to get their money, and like they're putting up stats. And I get it; it's a business. You get paid based off of like the fans you draw in. But you also got to think about this if you're the WNBA. Would you had a Brittany Griner situation
Nope.
if y'all paid them? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, that's real.
If y'all paid them, you wouldn't have a Brittany Griner situation. You wouldn't have these girls having to go to a different country, uproot their family, and play, and then come back for the summer. You know,
No, that's real.
like, come on, yo, like, let's think about the business side. Let's think about it. Like, there's money there. It's just whether or not you want to spend it. And
Yeah.
I and I'm not tell and I'm not telling. I'm not gonna say like, hey, all the girls should get the NBA money. Nah, it's what you put in, what you earn.
Right.
All right.
But speaking of spending money, let's talk about your homie Tony Snell.
Tony Snell. Oh, Tony Snell is wilding.
Yeah, 'cause he's a Tony Hawk guy. He's a trickster.
Fixed it. No, 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 no. We won't blame Tony Snell.
Who we blaming?
Blame his wife. And I'm sorry, but you cannot show on your Instagram you on a private jet with 12 Birkin bags, and then you got your husband who's on the spectrum, as well as your two sons, and he wants to be on the NBA roster so he can get this health insurance. Like, you really got to look at the time. Don't get me wrong, Tony. You made 50 mil. You got some money if you made the right investments. I hope you did. That's great, you know. But there's got to be some other way, like there's got to be another way. Because you should have told your wife, hey, don't post no videos until I'm on the team.
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, he's lying. We good." Messed up the whole bag.
Hey, it be like that sometime. And I ain't gonna say it's just the woman, be the guys too who out there with the women that mess up the bag too. Both sides be messing up.
Yeah.
Like, those are just conversations that people just be get. You gotta have you gotta choose the right one for you. If you don't, it can get hard out here. Shoot.
But what you think? What you think, man? I forgot the Pro Bowl today, man. That's how corny that game
I think
becomes.
I think I might watch, even though I saw the Jalen Hurts highlights from the skills challenge. Boy, oh boy.
Oh boy.
If he don't work on his throwing, and by throwing I mean he missed some short passes, Philly gonna have some problems next year.
Next year you have problems this year.
Shut up. Y'all lost to y'all the first ever to lose to a 7 seed. I don't even want to hear that.
I don't
Don't
know what
talk to
happened. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
your Cowboys. You know
Who?
who I'm talking about.
I don't even
And
like.
y'all got the same coach. And y'all got to see y'all defensive. Oh, yeah, it's even better. I'm glad you on the line. Y'all got to see y'all defensive coordinator twice a year now with the Commanders.
No, he's a terrible head coach. I'm okay with that.
Hey, if he hires the right coordinators, he'll be straight.
Yeah, but he won't.
Hey, he did it with Kyle Shanahan.
Gosh.
But we won't talk about that because Kyle Shanahan gave up a 28-3 lead to the GOAT. But I ain't speaking of Kyle, shoot. Hey,
Kyle about to win a chip this year, though.
hey, can we talk about the 49ers if they come out to Kanye West famous during the Super Bowl?
Oh wow. Yo. That would be a different level of petty, but that might actually make me
Hey,
watch.
I'm with it. I'm sorry. Even though I was so bad at the 49ers for them complaining about, oh, we should be in the Super Bowl. Oh, we should have been in it. The only thing the 49ers said right is that, hey, um, what's 24 on the Eagles can't cover to save his life.
Nah, what I'm saying, man, when
No,
they
I won't say save his life. He couldn't cover the common code if he wanted to. He couldn't cover a rock with a blanket. I'm just like,
no, they don't need to play Kanye. They need to have Kanye come out singing that John with the
bro,
John
bro,
behind him.
the NFL wouldn't even let him get towards the field. It wouldn't even happen. Because
That'd be
next thing you saw, he one day he was wearing like a black Klansman joint.
nah,
I
buddy.
was like, hey man, we can't. Hey, that's too much. We can't have that. I
Kanye,
like Kanye. I like his
Kanye,
music.
there's no too much.
I
Kanye,
like his music. I'm gonna say that clear. I like his music. but I'm not supporting all the political and all that other stance he said. Okay, that was wild.
I ain't said, man, y'all gonna feel me.
But if the 49ers come out to that, I think you have to let them go down. You like at some point as the NFL, you have to rid that game so they win.
No, that's rough.
Yeah, you got to rid the game so they win. If not, man, the memes that might come out after that, I think it's a win-win for the NFL. The memes that come out after that will be crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got the 49ers winning that Super Bowl. We definitely talk about that more next week. But I definitely got the 49ers winning. You know what they say,
Bro, I
you live long enough, you become the villain. I feel like Mahomes has finally become that villain. People are tired of seeing him in the Super Bowl.
no, I don't think it's Mahomes become the villain. I think people just tired of this whole Taylor Swift agenda.
Oh, yeah, that too. That definitely
Like
did.
it's not even Mahomes, okay? And like we just tired of seeing Taylor Swift, you know? And also me, I love looking at it like if it ain't my team in the final game and I ain't got nothing to lose, I know the jokes are gonna be rolling. So I'm all for the social media memes and jokes that roll after either team lose so I can have a good laugh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because best believe when your team not in it, hey, you can't lose.
Yeah. But did you want to add anything else?
Shoot. Uh let's talk. I guess we can talk about a little bit of WWE news.
Oh, gosh.
Freaking Rock is back to wrestle Roman Reigns, which is crazy in my book. Not a big fan of that. Let my boy Cody Rhodes finish the story. The Rock is finally turning into what he called everybody else for years, years and years out, a Rudy Poo candy ass who can't get out of the spotlight. Rock, if you're watching this, retire. Be in the front office of TKO. Relax. Let Roman and Cody have their WrestleMania. And then y'all go another year. You wrestle Roman another year. Nobody want to see you. Nobody in Philly want to see. And they in Philly? Oh, they gonna boo that right out the stadium.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, Philly fans don't play that.
Yeah, Rock need to retire, man. He making too many movies. Now he want to go back to wrestling. That's
Man,
crazy.
nobody want to see him in the movie. The only reason he back in wrestling is because Black Adam failed. That
No,
terrible movie.
there you go. We want anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right,
I
man.
ain't, don't let me go on a rant, then I'll be a Rudy Poo.
Appreciate you coming out, man. See you next week.
All right, see you next week, cuz.
All right, see you guys.
Peace.